Guilty Crown, Episode 4, Audio Commentary. If you don't know what this is, watch Episode 1, or somewhere in the 1 to 3 bracket. We're going to be starting the video in 3, 2, 1, go.
Where we left off,
Yep.
with him getting pushed out the train.
Yep. You lose, good sir.
You were standing literally right next to him. She could have stepped out with him.
Yeah, I mean, that might not be to her best interest.
But considering she looks at the...
Yeah. Everything is just as planned.
Yeah, our Morpheus is...
Yeah.
Yeah, really, that was entirely on Shu.
Pretty much. He's crosswording.
That's a weird...
I mean, he's this fake affably evil, but I'll take it.
Yeah. It's a quirk. A little bit.
Now you're getting it!
A little bit.
Me. Bet you didn't think crosswords could be a sinister metaphor. Pro tip, they still kind of aren't.
They're making an attempt to make him a sinister
And
metaphor.
that's kind of a jerkly cut, because that's not Shu.
No. We find out soon enough that it's not Shu, but we have no... That's a weird cut to make, and we have no reason to cut to that individual at that point.
You know, going through this again, I will say this intro is slightly wearing on me. The song's pretty, though, but it well, I guess a lot of intros, even good ones, rely on a lot of stills, but...
Yeah, that's not really a problem.
No, it's just... I may have given it too much credit. It's still good. I'm not trying to say it's not good. It's just not great.
I mean, it doesn't help that there's not a lot of variety in the costuming other than our Phoenix dress that there's no way in hell it would stay on her body without glue.
I mean, like I said, I believe it for her performances, because you'd use double stick tape and make something like that work. Or maybe a very convincing buff leotard under it so that it would be modest, so that it could be sewn to the leotard. For a performance. That's clearly not what she's doing, and she wears it into battle. That's the stupid part. But it looks so cool!
Yeah, she was taken in because he's... Of course, they're not going to openly tell everyone that he is working with Undertaker.
I mean, he also has a mom in high places, so...
Exactly, that's part of why you're not going to...
Yeah, they even mentioned that it's Dr. Uma's son. So officially, he's only detained on suspicion at this point.
This is, yeah, in the past.
Yeah.
Tsutsugami?
Yeah. That's apparently his first name. Or his last... I don't know if we're telling... Right, Guy is his given name.
Mm-hmm.
Tsutsugami is the surname that we never use. Despite being... Usually we use a lot more surnames in Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's that detail.
Instead of he calls him by his first name, but doesn't seem to strongly affiliated with the...
So, he's no ordinary member. That's right, he's a member not exactly by choice.
Yeah, it's a complicated. I do want to know why the f he gave the warning.
Because he's Tzeentch and everything's going to go just as planned regardless?
No, really. Why did he give the warning?
I mean, considering that they ambushed the guy in transit, not in his cell, it's possible that he was deliberately using the,
Yeah, but things weren't going exactly as planned, in theory.
in theory.
It's sort of there's masterminding and then there's just plain dumb.
Yeah. But there's masterminding, there's just plain dumb, and then there's writing a mastermind as omniscient.
Yeah.
Which is done all too frequently. It's part of why I often have trouble with, like, I have trouble with mastermind characters and I have trouble with Morpheus characters. Either of them can be done well, but Guy is both.
And that's really problematic.
Yeah. Again, we're almost totally caught up at this point. We're gonna start doing sight unseen. Oh, I don't know if there's anything legit revealed about him, or if anything ever comes and bites him in the rear.
It's sort of surprising to me that I was like, I assumed he was a dealer.
You know, I didn't the first time through.
I did.
Okay, so that's...
The fact that he gave a code name, that's more likely to be a thing the dealer does than the customer.
I suppose. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it. I guess the question for me was access for a teenager.
You'd be surprised what people can...
So they actually have hospitals.
They have hospitals for treating the infected, so clearly the infection can be at least... It's not violently infectious, since you've got these people walking around in there without...
At the very least, while the protocol is may kill at will, it's not, actually officially kill everyone all the time.
And there's a vaccine for it.
That is on evidence.
I will say, we know
He is doing a good job at Silken Glove here.
Yeah, I will say, while we know he's probably lying or distorting the truth because he's the villain, there's frankly no reason for Shu to disbelieve him. I do not blame Shu for believing him here.
Yeah. And I'm inclined on distorting. I mean, Shu also does have that.
Mm-hmm. But remember, there's an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the...
Yeah, the...
It's the...
Okay, now on this, he may say that, but I'm pretty sure that you only get jerks like GHQ by pulling them out of pits in the ground, like the Uruk-hai in the film version of Lord of the Rings.
He's doing some good counterpoints and shifting subjects.
I will ask, who is dangerous enough to require that cell?
Yeah.
He's a mad bomber. And as far as I know, he doesn't actually have superpowers, so... Oh, yes, the magic pen. That's gonna matter.
Well, yeah. If it didn't matter, it would be a horribly written show.
Oh, yeah, of course. And right now, Guilty Crown
is predictable.
Yeah, it's making a lot of mistakes and being very predictable, but
underhandedly threatening the girl.
Just a little Iron Fist. Just a little.
But frankly, I feel like our villain handled this encounter fairly well.
Purple hair villain may be just as blatantly psychotic as the rest of them, but he's at least smarter.
He is more competent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, this scene.
Back to her singing.
We cut to her in the weird rundown building where he keeps his editing software.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know. I have no explanation for that. There's nothing that...
Why do you put that in Eris's church? And have her rushing back in. I want you to remember this scene, because this is a weird scene.
Yeah.
This could have been a good, important scene, and maybe it still will be, but...
Right now, there's a bit of writing...
That's a little random, and...
There's a bit of writing
come
for
back
her
to that.
There's a bit of writing for her later that gets a little weird.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to it.
Nice fake goatee there.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is a passable disguise.
Yeah, it's not the world's worst disguise. Especially since I believe he's explicitly fairly young.
Yeah.
Everything shall go just as planned.
And they're put in a...
fake feed.
Yeah. Probably replaying the video and having pre-recorded audio that he'd put in.
Yeah, since Shu wasn't saying much anyway.
Yes, we're gonna break him out.
Yep.
And he just says yes. You'd think that he'd realize that might bother
Shu. Maybe make some argument about trumped-up charges. Planning to Of course I assume you'll obey me. Everything obeys me. Reality obeys me to the nanosecond on laser reflection.
That is an excellent question.
Yeah, I mean...
We kind of get a...
Yeah, we kind of know that GHQ is assholes, but...
I feel like we could still get an answer from Guy.
Yeah.
At the very least, it doesn't matter, but more of a... That's a long and complicated thing that we don't have time for right now because we're in the middle of an operation.
Again, planning things to the second.
Explosions, missiles, bombs, boom!
Undertaker has a lot of resources.
Yeah, it's not like missiles are cheap. They've got a lot of military hardware there.
Yeah. They must be funded by somebody. I mean, they're probably using off-screen Rebel dark matter, but...
And he assumes that Shu's just going to do what he's told.
I mean, he's not wrong, because he's the kind of character who can't be wrong.
And Inouye's apparently breaking in on her own.
Yep. In the Phoenix dress.
And is heading towards Shu's cell. Even though she theoretically should know that...
Because she just got the communique that... Now, you know, if you'd followed that goon back to your cell, you would have met up with her.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't even being handcuffed.
Yeah.
You're considered a low threat.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, if they don't know about his superpowers, he's severely low threat.
Yeah. He's an average high school student and seems fairly timid.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna say this here, but based on everything, I'm not 100% sure that the interchange with Inori there wasn't at least partially an act. Because she calls in at that exact right second to motivate Shu. And then, quote-unquote, shuts off her communicator. I mean, I bet Ayase and the other rebels wouldn't know about it, but I wouldn't put it past the possibility.
And otherwise she'd never disobey Guy's orders. So...
Yeah, I'm thinking she's still not disobeying his orders.
I'm thinking Guy's doing a risky gambling strategy that pays off because, of course, he does because he's freaking Morpheus.
Yeah. And Tzeentch. Don't forget Tzeentch.
He's just going to be evil in the vicinity.
Yeah. I mean, his very presence will do that.
So we don't actually know what the infection vector for the virus is, because it's clearly not too severe.
The result seems to be grow crystals.
Well, it's sort of it's clearly not that easy to transmit if was hugging his brother there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, there was supposed to be a disastrous outbreak.
No, seriously, why is he so straitjacketed and everything?
I mean, he may look it, but he's not Shuya Kano.
No. He does look weirdly like Kano. I thought that from the very first time we see him here.
But you know, while I would credit Kano with probably getting on the bad guy's shit list, he probably wouldn't have gotten caught. You have a gravity gun.
Yeah. You have anti-gravity bubbles.
It's a fun toy. Like, build a physics game around that.
Yeah. Gravity bubbles.
Yep. Just hoverize things.
Honestly, it would be a pretty nice pacifist weapon.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a character in a fighty type game be a pacifist, you could have them...
Let them equip something like that can only...
that disables enemies.
Yeah, and we're talking about this side stuff because this action is entirely alright. It's actually pretty cool.
Not much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean... That is one thing I do not fault in the show so far, is the action. And, like, this is a neat idea. Like, running up a zero-G ladder of water bubbles that act as one-use footholds.
Yeah. This is a pretty fun...
The shot framing is decent.
I'm guessing that was supposed to essentially stand in for a yes?
Yeah, probably.
And he's perfectly willing to just shoot one of his own guys, because...
Who had the snipe on the high-value rebel.
So, clearly, the previous gun might vanish, but the effects didn't.
Yeah, as we're still in zero-G land.
Mm-hmm.
Do we even know if it vanished? Because he wasn't holding it while reaching out for her, but he might not have properly dismissed it. He might just have dropped the object.
As far as we've seen, I don't think he can have two of them at once.
I mean, we've never seen that he can't, either.
Fair enough. But it feels like that's the kind of thing that he can't hand it off to someone.
Yeah, I mean, only he can use them, but we've seen that he can drop physical object voids. And that he does do a thing to dismiss them.
All as planned!
Just as planned.
That's really a perfunctory question like it was the first time.
After all, I'm never wrong.
I'll note that wasn't actually the statement that Major said not to...
No, he said don't trust people who say believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I could meme something here, but I don't know the source, so I'm going to avoid it.
And he's contemplating the
call down trouble pen.
But for now, we're going to walk off the screen with him still carrying her.
Yeah.
So clearly she's pretty light if an ordinary high school boy can just carry her like that.
And Princess Carrie at that.
Yeah. And...
But, I mean, again, she's a deflating balloon, or possibly a limp noodle. I wouldn't expect her to weigh very much.
If you couldn't tell, we're not terribly fond of our theoretical romantic lead here.
I'd like her better if she had a personality.
That's sort of the point. You can have flat affect characters have a personality. They're not...
Just ask Yuki Nagato.
I mean, she's insanely robotic in her tone and actions, and yet she still manages to have a...
I mean, she's an actual robot. An alien robot, so...
Which isn't spoilers, we find that out in the first episode, so...
Yeah, seriously. Maybe not the literal first episode of the show, but the first one she's, like, really in.
Anyway, don't really need to watch the entirety of the...
Yeah. I mean, they do alter the animation, I noticed. Like, well, continuing on the end of the last one, it had Shu in his school outfit apologizing to the class rep he groped at the very end of this sequence, and now they're walking hand in hand with him in the prison clothes. That's a nice touch.
It's a nice touch, but I don't think it's particularly important.
Anyway, see y'all later. Bye.